Hi, Gene Burnett from geneburnett.com here with another songwriting tip. Today's tip is a pretty simple one, but it's sometimes hard to do, and that is don't edit too soon. I know for some of us when we're writing, we start to envision singing the song or playing the song in front of the people that we typically play it in front of. Like if you're an open micer like me, you envision your open mic friends listening to the song, or if you're ambitious and a young songwriter, or ambitious and an old songwriter, you're picturing people out there listening to it on the radio, or you're picturing critics listening to it, or you're picturing playing it on the Tonight Show, depending on your level of grandiosity. And sometimes you will find yourself editing what you're writing as you're writing it. You're thinking, oh no, that would be too this for them, or that would be too this for them, and or you're comparing your songs to Bob Dylan, who turns 80 this weekend as I write this, pretty amazing. Or you're comparing it to the Beatles, or you're comparing it to whoever your favorite songwriter is, Townes Van Zandt or John Prine or Joni Mitchell, and you're kind of basically editing too soon. My advice is shoot from the hip, write from the heart. Just say whatever you feel like saying, even if you're doing some sort of automatic writing. Sometimes, you're stuck in a song, you just write whatever comes into your head first and then look at it and say, is something in there I can use? Don't edit while you're writing. Just get it out of your system. Then, later, you come back to it. And that's when you do your editing. That's when you say, okay, that really wouldn't work, that wouldn't work. You can apply commercial considerations. You can apply even personal considerations, like this doesn't really say it for me. Or you can apply, aesthetic considerations, like, oh, I said that word earlier, I don't want to repeat that word, or those kind of things. But I'm trying to suggest ways that you could write better songs, the songs that better express for you what you're feeling and thinking. Not necessarily commercial, but songs that are more satisfying to you, which means you have to kind of reach into yourself and find things that aren't quite clear yet. And when you find the right words and music to put them together, they suddenly become more clear, and you go, yeah, that's what I meant. Those kind of moments will not come from your impulses and free associations and spontaneous ideas being subjected to hard editing as they're born. So let them be born. Get them off your chest. Get them out in the world. Many times I've said and expressed stuff in my early versions of songs that just cracked me up or were absurd or ridiculous, and I knew when I was coming up with them that this wasn't going to be the final version, but I put them out there anyway. They expressed something for me. And then when I looked at it, I could go, yeah, I'm not going to say it in that form, but there's some truth in that. There was something there. And so I sculpted into something that's a little more palatable in a song. So my advice here is don't edit too soon. Spontaneously express, get it off your chest, get it out there on paper, on your computer or something, and then after you've had a little space and time, come back to it and edit and figure out what you really, really want to say. But don't straitjacket yourself, especially if you're a new songwriter. And I've tried to encourage people to write their first song, and for so many of them it's so difficult because they don't think it'll be any good. They don't think it'll be good, and it's like, yeah, it's your first song, it probably won't be. But you got to get moving, you got to start somewhere, you got to get it going. And they're right away, their pen barely touches the paper and they're thinking about Bob Dylan. And, just remember, Bob Dylan isn't any good at writing a Gene Burnett song. Bob Dylan isn't any good at writing a song that does it for you, that's your song. So don't compare yourself to other people. If it helps to take a hit of weed or a sip of whiskey or wine or beer or whatever, just to get that crap out of your head, those critical voices, and just go for what says it for you, do it. Just don't get too blasted. Shoot from the hip, write from whatever comes from wherever, and then later you can figure out what to keep and what not to keep. I think you'll find it really opens up your creative process to not be too critical as you're writing. Okay, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Making these to be helpful. If they are, please let me know. It's always nice. I also have a tip jar down in the description of this video, and I have them all over my website, GeneBurnett.com, but I'm mainly doing this to be helpful. The tips just kind of help me keep afloat, and they're always appreciated, but positive comments mean just as much. So thanks a lot for watching, and I hope this is helpful.